YouTube. I thought I'd have a quick blast out while the weather was okay, and it's quite mild actually this time of year for December. And I thought I'd tell you a little bit of a story that I read on the, I think it was on the BBC website a few weeks ago, and it was about South Korea. What it was saying is that South Korea has a very, very high rate of suicides. So what some companies are doing, they're having these what can only be described as team building exercises, whereby they're arranging for their employees to have a pretend funeral to try and hopefully prevent them from doing it in the future. So you've got these poor souls in this room, and there's about 20 of them I think there was, and they're all wearing these, I think they're kind of traditional burial robes, these white robes. They're all stood by these little tables, and by each table they've got their own individual coffin. And what they're made to do first is to write letters of goodbye to their loved ones. Now clearly it's quite upsetting for some of them, because some of them are obviously in tears and really, really upset about this. And when they finish doing their letters, they're then going to climb into their own coffin, and then the lid is shut, and they're supposed to stay in there for 10 minutes. I know I'm laughing, but it just creeps me up when I read it. And the whole point of this exercise is to kind of make them appreciate life more and hopefully reduce the amount of suicides. But I just found the whole thing really, really bizarre, and it kind of got me thinking. Can you imagine if tomorrow you went into work and your boss said to you, right, we're all going to have a pretend funeral? I just think the whole thing's really weird, and it kind of also got me thinking about my own funeral and whether I'd want to kind of arrange it in advance. I know you can buy these funeral plans whereby you can, you know, say exactly how you want to be buried, and you know, music, etc. And it got me thinking about my own funeral. Now if it was my own funeral, I wouldn't want it to be a sad affair. I would hope it be quite a funny and humorous affair. I wouldn't want people to be sad. Hopefully I'd be remembered quite fondly, and people would recall all the funny stories that I've got up to in my life, you know, especially around my vlogging. And I'd probably want a bit of help from my my vlogging mates. For example, I'm in Suffolk Andy. I'm sure he could he could find a really nice church somewhere. Nothing really creepy, Andy, because you know what I like with creepy churchyards. But you know, something really picturesque and pretty in the Derbyshire countryside where I could have my funeral. And the other thing I saw the other day was a motorcycle hearse. Now it wasn't just an ordinary motorcycle that was pulling this hearse, which was a sidecar, but it was a Hayabusa. And it reminded me of Mr. B. Now I know he's a little bit funny about you know, what he wants to ride, but I'm sure for me he'd be more than willing to jump on a Hayabusa that was had my coffin at the side of him, you know, and I'd expect him to ride it like a boss as well, you know. And and the other thing I'd like the route to the church or wherever the funeral was going to be a bit of a decent rider. Now I'd obviously want to leave that route planning to someone more apt and adept at kind of planning routes than me, because if it was left to me, I'm sure there'd be far too many roundabouts, and no my luck, the entourage would probably get lost going around one of them. So I'd want someone to you know, step forward and do a bit of a route for me, so that would be pretty awesome. And I could just imagine within the congregation there'd be all these vloggers sitting there with their helmets on and their cameras running, recording the proceedings, you know, and for upload on YouTube afterwards. You know, with the title Wyvernbiker's Funeral, you know, Part 1 or something like that. So can you just imagine? And Skeggy Cruiser, you can imagine his opening gambit would be, you know, hello YouTube, how you diddling? Welcome to wyvernbiker's funeral. It would just crack me up so much. I'd just be looking down from above at that video and just be laughing so much. It'd be so funny. And I was thinking about what kind of music I'd want from a funeral as well, and I'd want something obviously not too serious. So, something like, I don't know, One Step Beyond by My Madness, or Going Underground, something like that. Or even, what's that song by Queen? Oh, Another One Bites the Dust, something like that. Or even the YMCA, you know, get people singing and dancing, you know, make it really fun affair, you know, nothing miserable or down, you know. And you know, maybe I wouldn't have a funeral, because I was thinking actually some of the chads right now, bloody way, they'll probably end up kicking my headstone over, you know. So maybe I'd want to be cremated instead, you know, and the music as the curtain kind of closes around the casket would be something like, you know, Burn Baby Burn, or Come on Baby Light My Fire, or I'm a Fire Starter, something like that, you know, or Highway to Hell, or something like that. So, you know, let me know what you think, guys. You know, give me some ideas of what I could have on my funeral, and you know, what do you think to the whole bizarre idea about, you know, your employer making you have a kind of pretend funeral to try and stop people committing suicide? I just think the whole thing's really odd and bizarre, but it made me laugh anyway. Anyway guys, I think that'll do for now. So as always, ride safe, and hopefully I'll see you next time. Cheers.